I was born in Somalia, Mogadishu, at Banadr Hospital. It was a civil war and it was very dangerous for us, so we just wanted to come to America to have a better life. Knowing where their family members are, being afraid every night. It's like we had to have adults always like with guns guarding us, afraid that somebody was gonna come and ambush us. Now she suffers from like all those like diabetes, hypertension, stress, like probably borderline personality stuff. Like you went through trauma. Like they don't realize that as Africans we consider that being weak. But like something dangerous did happen to you, something that can mess with your brain. You were in a war and you heard bombs explode too, and that like just the debris from that or anything can mess with your brain. You're here in this country and all you have is your culture, and then environment is stronger than culture. So like you were so busy being on survival mode and just trying to make it here and trying to keep your kids a certain way that like you forget to live or take care of yourself. I had the chance to like I did have a great life growing up at the beginning of my first years, and then like the war and moving in with my aunt and trying to please her, not having my mom, and then the war and all those things do shape you, and then being molested and being abused by men and seeing death and not knowing how to deal with it and just being a kid, and then you're still trying to get attention when there's a funeral going on as a kid and all that stuff. Like, you know, the things that I went through did lead to my alcoholism. I got a DUI, and then in 2011, I didn't even know what jail was, and I got arrested and found out about treatment. I found AA, and I just fell in love with it, and first thing I read about acceptance and all these things, and I was like, that's how I feel in my heart. I said, like, all these things, you know, that the book said it was so romantic and beautiful, and I was like, you know what, this makes my life so much easier, and I don't have to feel shame as a Somali Muslim woman. And these, like, all these things that are written, I subscribe to this. This is how I see life and love. Where somebody's from, any culture, and try to take things that they can make it familiar for them and try to help them that way, because that's what one counselor did for me. Like, she realized that I was getting angry and people were misunderstanding me and I didn't know how to express myself, and it had a lot to do with the trauma that I went through with being in a refugee camp, being in a war, growing up with like all these different personalities and just trying to please, and then growing up in two different cultures, like being American and then being a Somali girl and then being a teenager, like all those things. And she just tried to help me, and she tried to like get me through the 12 steps of Islam and all these things. I'm just grateful that I found AA, and it just makes my life easier, and anytime that I have to hear like any prejudice or racism, I just look at like there's a way of like bringing people together, which is addiction counseling and AA.